Yo, what's up guys? Patch 20.0 is almost here, and this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest patch we've ever had in Hearthstone history. So there is a lot of new stuff coming in this patch, including 36 cards in Standard that are going to get their old nerfs reverted back to their originals. But the kicker? We only get to use these unnerfed cards for 5 days from March 25th to the 30th until the new rotation hits, and these 36 cards go back into wild forever. So in this video, we're going to be going over 5 decks that you can use to utilize these old unnerfed cards. Now, before we hop into the decks, if you love off-meta decks, if you love deck building, then make sure you're subscribed because that is all we do on this channel. So without further ado, let's hop into the first deck. All right, so the first unnerfed deck that I have for you guys is going to be this Highlander Quest Galakrond Shaman. So this deck uses pretty much all 3 archetypes that are going to be rotating into wild. So we get one last hurrah with them. We get the quest, we get the Galakrond, and we get Highlander shenanigans. And they actually just kind of synergize very well together. So the unnerfed cards in this deck are going to be the Galakrond, or like the invoke stuff. So we have the Invocation of Frost and the Corrupt Elementalist, as well as the Dragon's Pack. And because a lot of the invokes are Battlecry, they just synergize really well with the quest. And a couple of other cards that synergize well with the quest with the Battlecry effects are going to be the Highlander cards. So we got Zephyrus and the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. And the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza is also another card that is getting unnerfed. So you can do some just crazy bonkers things with the quest and with Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. So if you use Lightning Bloom or Tour Guide after a quest is completed, then not only do you get 4 free dragons, but each one of those free dragons gets their battle cry doubled as well. So not only is this deck going to be powerful, but we also get to use all the archetypes that are going to be leaving Standard soon. And speaking of Galakrond decks, that leads us into our next unnerfed deck, which is going to be Galakrond Rogue. If any of you guys remember the old Galakrond where it drew 4 0-costed cards and how busted it was, yep, we get that back again. So we get to make this deck a little bit newer because we have some new cards since that Galakrond was nerfed. So we get to be using some of the combo cards like the Foxy Fraud, the Swindles to kind of help supplement the package. And then we're using the good old Polkelt. So when our Galakrond is upgraded, we can slam down a Polkelt, top deck that Galakrond, and then draw into a free Togwaggle, free Kronks, free Flick, and then free Jandus. If we've drawn through enough cards in the deck, we might even draw into a free Edwin. And by the way, the Edwin is also getting unnerfed. Yeah, I remember this deck being an absolute powerhouse when it was unnerfed, and well, here it is again. Going into the third unnerfed deck, we have Face Hunter. Now, there's a couple cards in here that are getting unnerfed. We have the Leper Gnome and we have the Arcane Golem. So the Arcane Golem is a huge change. This guy actually becomes a 3-mana 4/2 charge. So as a Face Hunter, obviously we just love going face, so this is a natural fit. It's kind of like a mini Leroy, but we get to run 2 of them. And also the Leper Gnomes are getting unnerfed as well, and we can make use of a lot of value off of this unnerfed with the Toxic Reinforcements. So once that quest is completed, we get 3 unnerfed Leper Gnomes. Now that's value. There's also quite a few cards in here that are going to be rotating into wild as well from Standard, just from like the classic cards. So the Eagle Hornbow, the Kill Command, Unleash the Hounds. So now is your chance to play with a lot of these cards before like half this deck is going to go into wild. Now this next deck is going to be somewhat of a new combo. This is going to be Exodia Warrior. So it's kind of like ETC combo, but it's slightly different. So the Exodia combo here, we want to go ahead and assemble a Crab Rider, slap an Inner Rage onto there, give it charge, give it Shield of Honor, and then we can go ahead and copy that with Bloodsword Mercenary. So that combo right there is going to be a 32 damage combo, but we could also get more damage onto there if we slap more Inner Rages or more Shield of Honors on there as well. And then we are also using a copy of the Arcane Golem. So if we want to, we can even go off on the Golem, you know, give that Inner Rage and then copy that. It's basically like a cheaper Galakrond Elite. The rest of the deck is pretty much like the Enrage package, but it'll be pretty fun to go ahead and pull off this combo for just 5 days until we get it. And the 5th and final deck that you guys can use for the unnerfed cards here is going to be somewhat of a meme deck, but it's going to be fun. Well, maybe not for your opponent. It's going to be Bird or Albatross Priest. So the Albatross is going from 4 mana down to 3, which means that we can go ahead and slap a bunch more shenanigans onto the bird to copy it, to give it death rattles, to give it reborns, and all that fun stuff to shuffle just a million birds into your opponent's deck. And because the Albatross is going from 4 mana down to 3, we can take advantage of that by using Rally, which is a new card that we didn't have when the Albatross was unnerfed. So not only can we rally the Albatross, we can go ahead and give it reborn with like Psychopomps, Embalming Ritual, Ritual. We can go ahead and draw it with Insight, and we can even copy it with Gift of Luminance. And it's even more bonkers if we can go ahead and Grave Rune and then Gift of Luminance. But yeah, this deck is going to be hilarious to play and super annoying for our opponent to play against. Well, that about wraps up these 5 unnerfed decks that you can use for patch 20.0. And keep in mind, you can only use these from March 25th until March 30th, until these cards rotate into wild forever. If you liked these decks, if you got some pretty good ideas, then leave a like down below on the video. That really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm a lot. And I want to hear from you guys. Which one of these decks are you most excited to play for patch 20.0 when it comes out? Are you going to be drawing half your deck for free with Galakrond Rogue? Are you going to be shuffling a million birds in with Albatross Priest? Thanks for watching, guys. Stay funky, and I'll see you guys in the Barrens.